It's so great to see how many of you from the community here at our Carols by Morning Light. Who's had a good morning this morning? Who can smell that barbecue that's been wafting in? Okay. Well, another 5 minutes and we'll be there. But I just want to share a brief, encouraging Christmas message with you this morning. At our church, we've been looking this Christmas about the theme, God with us. And Joel last week spoke about that God is with us in the valley. Anyone had any valleys, hard times, challenges this year? Anyone? Handful of people. Well, I want to assure you that God is with you in the valley. But also, God is with us on the mountains. He's on the highs of life. And sometimes I believe that everyone needs some highlights in their life. Would you agree? Everyone needs some mountaintop experiences. And I think they make the valleys a little bit more sustainable. But I love the passage when it says in the Psalms, as we walk through the valley, you don't stay in valleys. You go through them. And where are we going? That's a big question to ask. But I want to ask you today, who has had a mountaintop experience that they want to share? It might have been a family member. It might have been an occasion. It might have been something, a mountaintop experience. Who's had one of those mountaintop experiences and want to yell it out what it was? Anyone? Yeah? Jamboree, mountaintop experience. That's right. Well, you control the action. That's right. What else? What other mountaintop experience? Fantastic times in life. Anyone? Year 6 formal. Oh, okay. Now, come on. Is there any other mountaintop experience? Oh, we got one down here. What's your mountaintop experience? You got to go to the Ignite class this year. Very good, very good. Come on. Anything else? Highlights in your life that have filled your bucket. Yep. Your granddaughter had a miracle baby. Oh, yeah. Come on. Yep. Parenting done, turn 21. Now the stress begins, let me tell you. Any other highlights? Yep. Finishing school for this year. What else? What else we got? Making a basketball rep team. Well, I want to tell you this. Something about mountaintop experiences, and you look in the Bible, I'm just going to give you a little bit of a very small teaching on the Bible. The Old Testament, mountaintop experiences, they would talk about talking with God. And so what they would say is Moses, when Moses in the burning bush, Mount Horeb, he was actually, that's where you would commune with God. See, Jesus hadn't come yet in the Old Testament. So mountains were seen as a place where God would come and talk to his people. And then where the 10 Commandments, Mount Sinai, another mountain experience. So in the Old Testament, God would often appear and speak to people on mountains. But I want to tell you good news. You don't need to go on mountains to talk to God anymore. Jesus came. Jesus came. God with us, Emmanuel. And I want to tell you today is that you could have more mountaintop experiences, highlights in life. You can actually have more of those in life. Who would want more mountaintop experience, highlights in their life? Yeah? You can actually have more of them. It's actually attainable. You can actually have this, and you don't need to go on a 5-star holiday, even though that would be nice. You don't need to fly first class. You don't need that, even though that would be nice. I've never done that before, but I would like to do it. It's on my bucket list. But I can tell you this, it is more attainable as parents for your kids to live an amazing life more than you think. I want to share a story about one of our highlights. Lauren and I and our kids, we went on a 6-month caravanning around Australia. Our kids still don't like driving the car, so work that out. But anyway, and we had one of those amazing, wonderful, life-giving experiences. And we went through Mount Isa, and you probably think Mount Isa probably wouldn't be up on the bucket list, but I'll explain a little bit. We went to Mount Isa, and a photo will come on the screen here in a second. Oh, look at that. There's a helicopter there. There's Jude and Zoe and Emmy over there. Simon, he's a pastor out in Mount Isa, and they call him the Flying Padre, the Flying Pastor. And he actually goes to parts in all around Queensland that have never, people never go. And he goes and visits farmers on rural properties. And actually, if hardships happen, he goes there and helps them, support them. He's an amazing man, does a great ministry. Another slide will come on. That's actually us in the helicopter, okay? We actually got a helicopter ride. And go to the next one. This is just one of the views. It was on sunset, and it was coming down. Amazing. Come on, amazing. We even saw crocodiles. And then we went over the Mount Isa has a mine, and there was mines there. It was amazing, and the sun was coming down. It was absolutely spectacular. I think I've even got a 15-second video clip. Jude actually fell asleep at the end of that. It was putting everyone asleep. Dad, that's all right, mate. But I want to tell you this. I was looking back and I was thinking to myself, why was that experience so amazing? Why was it so wonderful and it filled my bucket? And I can tell you this, it wasn't because of the helicopter ride. It was good. It wasn't because of the spectacular views. It wasn't that it was even free. Okay, and that's a pretty good one as well. But I tell you this, it was amazing, it was spectacular, it was a mountaintop experience because of who I was in the presence of. I felt close to God. But you know what? I was with the most important people in my life. Your faith and your family. When it comes to it, I can tell you these will be the mountaintop experiences in your life. It will be your faith, a faith in God, in Jesus, and it will be family. And if I could have one thing for you to remind today, it is who we are in the presence of that brings us mountaintops experiences in life. It's who we are in the presence of that brings us mountaintop experiences. It says in Isaiah 7:14, therefore the Lord himself will give you a sign. The virgin will give birth and give him a son, call him Emmanuel. The presence of God can take you from a valley and put you on a mountaintop within moments. God with us, Emmanuel. And I want to tell you, so normally at church we'll do a little bit of a message, a little bit longer than that normally, and we would say, okay, what are we going to do? What's the application? What are we calling people to respond? And I was thinking about this. What would I say to everyone here before we go out and have photos with Santa and eat the barbecue and get our faces painted and the jumping castle and all those things? What would I say? I'll tell you this. If you want more mountaintop experiences in life, if you want more moments in life that make life worth living and fill your bucket, slow down. Slow down. It says in Psalm 46:10, be still and know that I am God. And I want to encourage you this Christmas to slow down and spend time with the most important people in your life, your family, and spend time with Jesus this Christmas. Let me pray. God, we thank you that you are an amazing God. You love us. We thank you that we can have mountaintop experiences in life. We thank you that you are with us in the valleys and you're with us on the mountains. And I pray that this Christmas we would take moments to be in your presence, that we would take moments to spend with our family, that we would take time to smell the roses while they're in season, and we would enjoy this time this Christmas. God, we know that you are here with us. We thank you for all the people here, especially the children this morning, and we give you thanks for them. And all God's people said, Amen. Amen.